So, if you believe in the law of attraction, then you seeing this video has already proved it false. But I should probably slow down. What even is the law of attraction? Essentially, the law of attraction is a concept, supposed law. We're going to get to explaining why it shouldn't even be called a law. But essentially, it's the concept that like attracts like, which is like kind of the only sort of valid thing that this has. But it goes even deeper than that. See, basically what it tries to say is that your thoughts have power over the universe, as if the universe is some type of subservient deity or something. And it basically tries to tell you that your thoughts send out frequencies to it, and so what you think is what you're gonna get out of it, basically. So if you think negatively, you're gonna get negative experiences. If you think positively, you're gonna get positive experience. And there's several problems here, but we're gonna just let Wikipedia, who is, you know, a reliable source for this case. You know, don't always trust Wikipedia for this case. It actually explains this concept very well. We're going to let this kind of read out, and I will go about this and debunk it as it progresses. So here. Okay, so we already have a couple problems. Number one, it shouldn't be called a law because it is not proven. See, the laws of gravity are proven. That's why they get to be called laws. The laws of logic are proven and not changeable. That's why they get to be called laws. This is not a law. This is a pseudoscience. As you know, all the scientists that you're going to see, they're claiming this is pseudoscience, and it's true. It's a pseudoscience. It misapplies scientific principles to try and prove its point, and it kind of ends up falling flat on its face. So number one, it shouldn't even be called a law. Number two, this is spirituality, like it said. And the problem with that is that this tends to be kind of atheistic spirituality, which is a contradiction in itself. See, we know that the universe is material. And so where would the spiritual stuff come from? The universe predates us. So it has no reason to, you know, serve us. Okay, this is kind of reminding me of prosperity gospel, but worse. And I'll explain what prosperity gospel is. It's basically the belief that God is like this cosmic genie, which is false. But, you know, this is similar, except you completely take out the higher power out of the equation and you make the universe subservient to you, which is already flawed. Let's continue. Okay. Basically the ideology here, again, is that if you think a certain thing is happening to you, this is, by the way, verified by their things that they read and stuff. If you think that you can basically manifest something, it will happen to you. So essentially you can put your future into the present and you'll live it out, which is, again, another contradictory false statement. It thinks that just because you like super focus in on something, that's going to be what you're gonna get from the universe. And see, here's the problem is, if you just kind of dilute yourself into thinking, hey, this is what I am rich already. The people who do these things advocate that you think this way, by the way. I'm just letting you know. They advocate that you dilute yourself, and so basically what ends up happening is you can't make plans for doing something because it already happened according to this nonsense. And so basically you just kind of sit there and think. And it tries to use pseudoscience and quantum science to prove its point, and it just ends up falling flat on its face. It tries to say that antenna and channels on TV is a parallel because we don't know how they work, but the thing is we do know how they work. We do absolutely know how they work. So where's the parallel?
There is no empirical scientific evidence supporting the law of attraction, and is widely considered.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing, is there's no scientific evidence for it. They try to use quantum science again, like I said, and it doesn't work. It doesn't justify it. There's no evidence, which is fine, I guess. I mean, you could technically make the same argument with theology, but it doesn't actually work if you apply it to theology. But yeah, there is no scientific evidence, and further, to make it even worse, the scientific claims that it does try to make, to try to back itself up, to try to kind of sound intellectual, they end up falling flat on their face. So
The pieces of science. Advocates generally combine cognitive reframing techniques with affirmations and link creative visualization or ways limiting self-destructive. Negative thoughts with more powers than active positive thoughts. But keep.
okay, see, here's the thing again with the thoughts stuff. So they are not considering potential drawbacks. You see, I know a person who sort of buys into this stuff, and she likes to help people. She wants to be able to help people, but by this logic, because you can't do it, because this is a negative thought. If you think about it, because if you think about helping the people who are in a worse situation, you're still thinking of a worse situation, and therefore the law is obligated to respond by making your situation worse. See, do you see where the logic is? You can't have these two worldviews at the same time. You can't believe in the law and these principles and still want to help people at the same time, because according to you, it will, make your situation worse. See, yeah, that's what I was just talking about. They want to believe that for example, let's pretend that I'm rich. I cannot just say I'm rich, okay? I have to go and I have to think that I can make it and then actually go out and do the work required. This doesn't even let you even think about going to do the work required, because that's a challenge and therefore negative. See, you see where the logic problem is. See, if I said right now I can fly, and I thought every single doubt that I had was cleared, and I just thought I'm flying. I'm not flying. I can't do that. I can't warp reality like that. Try it. It won't work. If you completely clear your mind and just think that you're flying, that because it told you to manifest the future into the present, once again, another contradiction. But, here we are. If you think to yourself, try this. If you think to yourself, I'm flying, and you get rid of all doubts that you're not and stuff, and you genuinely believe it, it's not going to happen. It's the same thing that a friend of mine, he used the analogy of a glass of water filling up. Regardless of how much you think it's full, it will not be full. If you're going to apply these principles, you might as well apply them in the full way they're supposed to be. Okay. So, once again, problem. Because there is absolutely there's nothing that backs this up. And sure, you can have testimonies and stuff. There's people who testified that this supposedly worked for them, but here's the problem. They leave out, all these testimonies I've read always leave out one thing, or a few things depending on how you look at it. They always leave out any other factors that could have been, instrumental to their success, quote unquote, and they just kind of blame it on this. It doesn't work that way. And the way you can prove it is literally by just thinking to yourself, oh, I can fly, and you can't. You can't do it. Yeah, see? Yeah, misuse of scientific concepts, such as physics, and applying that to where it doesn't belong, and stuff like that. And I call it, again, the law of distraction, because this seems to always be focused on wealth for some reason. See, I'm I'm just gonna show you guys something, just to prove a point. Success rate. Wow! 0.1% of people, and basically, I was proving the point. Not just that, but apparently the people who have done the most with it sell their secrets, and do courses. So this is kind of like a whole pyramid scheme at the end of everything. It's ridiculous. Holy. Okay, let's go back to where I was. Yeah, good. Okay. So, again, I'm going to return to my original point that I started this video with. The fact that you have seen this video as a law of attraction believer, the fact that you have even come into contact with this video, is proof that it does not work. And I will explain why it's proof that it does not work. Because you are trying to attract, you wholeheartedly believed that it's true. So you are going to attract more videos according to your law, according to your logic. I'm not going to call it a law. I'm not going to give it that respect. I'm going to call it your logic. Because logic sometimes can be fallacious, and this is what this is. It's fallacious. It's full of fallacies. So, according to your logic, you should never see, ever, anyone debunk or refute or even question the law of attraction, because you do not. And the universe is supposed to send you what you like and what pleases you. So, therefore, the fact that you've seen something to the contrary is proof that it's actually not working, that it actually does not work, that instead of trying to focus on this new thought spirituality stuff, which is contradictory because you cannot have spirituality without a creator or a immaterial creator, which is what we believe God is. And by the way, with that point, I just wanted to focus on something because they misinterpret a Bible verse to prove their point. They try to say Christianity supports this law, and it doesn't. So let's look up Mark 11:24, and I'm doing this for a reason. So this is taken out of context because basically, on surface level, it looks like it's in support of the law of attraction, right? Because it seems to be preaching the same thing, but it's not, because they leave out earlier context in the Bible where it says that you must desire what God desires. You must do what God wants you to do. Your wants must be God's wants, and then you will receive it. That's the thing. See, that's a misquoting, completely misused, by the way. The prosperity gospel uses this as well to tell you that you should go and, get rich and stuff, and that you can get rich by God. See, God is not a cosmic genie, like I said. God is the creator. We are subservient to him, not the other way around. He has absolutely zero obligation to us. And yet, still things happen. And that's why my ultimate point with this video is, if you are interested in spirituality and stuff like that, if you kind of buy into the law of attraction and you kind of support this type of stuff, you've already seen the points disproving this whole theory. You've already seen the arguments against it, very strong arguments. There's an even stronger argument in this article, Psychology Today. And Psychology Today is kind of like a basic beginner's psychology magazine. It's like a very basic source of psychology, but even they reject this idea. And I can leave a link to their article in the description so that you can see a more thorough debunking of the law of attraction, because it is something that they pointed out that I didn't is that it's kind of a dangerous concept that can lead to dangerous habits, and can dilute you and make you delusional. And I will definitely provide that source in the description for sure. That's something I will do. But again, I encourage you to seek something, I encourage you to seek out God. I encourage you to seek out religion. Find Islam, find Christianity, the two, religions that actually stand. And the reason I say that is because the law of attraction basically, does not promote you helping people at all. Because it would shut you down, and it would make your life harder, and apparently the universe would send you back negative things, which is not what we teach. We teach that doing good things for people will make you feel better, which has been proven by psychology. Okay, so even secular psychologists agree with this assessment. Instead of this, nonsense, the pseudoscience. So, if you're interested in stuff like this and you want to live a fulfilled life and stuff like that, then come to one of these religions. We do not have contradictory teachings. We have an actual concept of a creator. We have all of these things that the law of attraction simply cannot provide for you. The law of attraction is a mental health detriment, whereas Christianity and Islam are not mental health detriments. They are mental health benefits, and I can speak from experience that Christianity is a mental health benefit. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's any law of attraction apologists, who would like to debate me on this topic and shut me down and epically demolish me and my take, then come down and comment or contact me, Always open to debates, always open to questions and stuff like that. If you have questions about these religions, me and Blind Gamer can answer these questions for you, depending on which religion you're asking about. But I think that since you are already interested in spiritual stuff, this will take you down the full path of truth rather than this contradictory pseudoscience, quite frankly, nonsense. With that being said, again, make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this. We're going to be looking into ideas like this, all the time, doing things like this, because this is what we like to do. And with that being said, again, I keep saying that, but, yeah, I'll see you guys later.